What?
In the van. It's, what is it? A foot, maybe.
The what?
I think it's a foot.
A foot in the van?
A leg, maybe. I don't know. I'm like, I'm gonna bring it all, and then I'm like, man, this is messy, so then I just left it. I got lazy.
Okay.
I got lazy, and that's what I did, so I'm like.
Okay. So there's gonna be maybe a foot or a leg in the van. And then,
Yeah,
what did you do with the head?
I forgot that was in the van, so, yeah.
What did you do with the head?
The head, I put it in that bucket, that black bucket.
Black bucket?
With the blanket on top.
Okay.
Actually,
And then where'd you leave it?
Leave the head?
Confessed to cuddling Shad's body after he died. How does a person get to that point? According to court testimony, Taylor claimed she had a thing with Jeffrey Dahmer a year before the murder, despite the fact that Dahmer died in 1994.
So you dismembered the body too?
Yeah.
Well, what did you do with the body parts?
Oh, they're in the house.
Somewhere?
They're like, yeah.
Basement, upstairs, downstairs?
Absolutely in the basement. I was gonna bring them with them. And then, I know I forgot the head. I wanted the head.
Did you bring anything with you?
Yeah, it's in the van.
She used kitchen knives to cut off his limbs, remove his organs, and decapitate him. The same woman who attacked her lawyer in court and threw a chair at a psychologist.
I don't see why not. Unless it just up and moved. Which it could have. I don't know.
Where do you think the body would be?
I was right there by the bed.
It's by the bed, you think?
Yeah, I was cuddling it by the bed.
You were what?
I was cuddling it by the bed.
Are we hearing this right? Is Taylor Schabusiness not only saying she killed Shad, but cuddled with his body afterwards?
I don't know, there's this chain thing, right? And then, yeah.
She used kitchen knives to cut off his limbs, remove his organs, and decapitate him. The same woman who attacked her lawyer in court and threw a chair at a psychologist.
Like, this is the thing that I have, like, I've always had, you know, like, you ever love something so much that you kill it? Like, it happens to me. That's the feeling that I have. I love something so much that I kill it. Like, I cuddle it so much and then I kill it. That's what happens to me.
What began as a drug-fueled sexual encounter in his mother's basement ended in a horror that defies comprehension.
We believe that the information and the testimony will show and hopefully lead to you to conclude that she lacked the substantial capacity to appreciate the wrongfulness of her conduct or to conform her conduct to the requirements of the law. And what I ask is that you just sit back, carefully listen to what these experts have to say, and then render a fair and just result. Thank you.
On February 21st, 2022, a woman in Green Bay, Wisconsin told police she forgot the head. That is a direct quote from a criminal complaint, one of those dry public record documents that often contains the most chilling stories imaginable. The quote is from Taylor Schabusiness, and the object she forgot was the severed head of her friend, Shad Thyrion. This is the kind of cognitive dissonance that defines the Taylor Schabusiness case. A young mother and wife convicted of first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and third-degree sexual assault, but who also casually complained to police about her cleaning job being messy and that she got lazy. Before we go deeper into what the documents actually show, make sure you're subscribed to Project Cold Case, because we don't just cover the story, we follow the evidence. Taylor Schabusiness is the central figure here, a woman whose spiral into violence was fueled by a devastating cocktail of methamphetamine, mental health struggles, and a chilling obsession with one of history's most infamous killers, Jeffrey Dahmer. Her victim, 24-year-old Shad Thyrion, was described by his family as mild-mannered and kind. On that February night,
a mental disease is not antisocial conduct. It's not conduct brought about by use of a controlled substance, a temporary mental state caused by a controlled substance. A person is not mentally ill just because they commit something that's unnatural, that's so enormous, that just is beyond comprehension, right? You'll be instructed that those are not.
What began as a drug-fueled sexual encounter in his mother's basement ended in a horror that defies comprehension.
This was getting worse.
No, I love my daughter, so I'll do whatever it takes to help her out.
According to Arturo's testimony during the second phase of Taylor's trial, Taylor's real issues began when her husband Warren allegedly introduced her to hardcore drugs.
Mr. Coronado, were you aware of whether or not your daughter was employed during the time that she was residing with you on Moraine Way?
She was not at the time, no.
Do you know anything about her employment history as an adult?
Sure.
And had she held jobs in the past?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know where she worked?
She worked for Saputo. She worked a couple of years, Saputo, 3.5 years probably.
And is that relatively recently? Prior to her arrest, of course.
Yeah, right, prior to.
And
she was doing really well there too, until her boyfriend/husband got out of jail. That turned everything upside down.
Yeah, in part because of the methamphetamine use, right?
Yep.
So Taylor was doing pretty well, and then she started using the drugs.
What was the drug?
Meth, heroin, whatever else. I don't know.
She used kitchen knives to cut off his limbs, remove his organs, and decapitate him. The same woman who attacked her lawyer in court and threw a chair at a psychologist.
She wasn't responsible for the criminal conduct because at the time of the event, she had the mental disease, and it both affected, she lacked substantial capacity to both appreciate the wrongfulness of her conduct at the time the homicide occurred, but also she could not conduct, she couldn't conform. She lacked volitional control. She couldn't conform her conduct to the requirements of law. She was lacking in her ability to control herself. Based on my experience and training, that's a psychotic person.
She used kitchen knives to cut off his limbs, remove his organs, and decapitate him. The same woman who attacked her lawyer in court and threw a chair at a psychologist.
The diagnoses that I offered were methamphetamine-related use disorder, and that was applied in acknowledgement of Ms. Schabusiness's general use of methamphetamine in that time period. The diagnosis of methamphetamine intoxication was applied because she was using methamphetamine at the time of the crime. And then the final diagnosis I gave was methamphetamine-induced psychotic disorder. And I offered that one because Ms. Schabusiness was describing, and the records contained indication of paranoia. I think she made a comment about muscle rebuilding during the homicide, and this indicated to me the presence of psychotic symptoms, which I attributed to the recent.
Confessed to cuddling Shad's body after he died. How does a person get to that point? According to court testimony, Taylor claimed she had a thing with Jeffrey Dahmer a year before the murder, despite the fact that Dahmer died in 1994.
There's a lot of points in that interview where the defendant is telling you exactly what her intent was in this case, right? His face was turning purple, right? She describes that, and he's coughing up blood, and you know that's accurate, right? Because you heard Dr. Tranquita's testimony, and you saw those photographs. She's seeing that in person, and yet what does she say? I still didn't stop. No. She felt a heartbeat at one point, right? She talks about feeling his heartbeat, and she kept pulling more, and he wouldn't die. And, I just wanted him, and I was like, damn. Right? She admits even that Shad's struggling in this moment, that he's fighting back, right? You heard from Dr. Tranquita as well about how it looked like at one point there were signs of that, where the collar slipped up along the tongue. She's telling you, I was waiting for him to die. I liked it.
She used kitchen knives to cut off his limbs, remove his organs, and decapitate him. The same woman who attacked her lawyer in court and threw a chair at a psychologist.
The details you're about to hear next are extremely disturbing. Police find a severed head inside a bucket located in the basement of Tara's home. Officials later confirm it was the head of Tara's son, 24-year-old Shad Thyrion. According to Green Bay PD, a towel has been placed over Shad's head and dried blood is found on a nearby mattress. Police notice something else. The rest of Shad's body is missing. How does something terrible like this even happen? And who is...
She used kitchen knives to cut off his limbs, remove his organs, and decapitate him. The same woman who attacked her lawyer in court and threw a chair at a psychologist.
Playing around with it.
Okay.
I mean, like we were smoking the right? Okay. And then I'm terrible at explaining things, so let's see here. And then here comes the chain, right? And then he put it around his neck. Well, we were like playing around and and then I don't know, I was tugging on it, and then I don't know.
You say you're smoking. What would that be?
Ice.
Ice?
Ice.
The way Taylor discusses Shad will send chills up your spine. It seems like it's just a raunchy joke to her. A quick warning, this next part is very sexually graphic. Listener discretion is advised. Taylor described...
On February 21st, 2022, a woman in Green Bay, Wisconsin told police she forgot the head. That is a direct quote from a criminal complaint, one of those dry public record documents that often contains the most chilling stories imaginable. The quote is from Taylor Schabusiness, and the object she forgot was the severed head of her friend, Shad Thyrion. This is the kind of cognitive dissonance that defines the Taylor Schabusiness case. A young mother and wife convicted...
So did you want him? You didn't want? You wanted him to die, or he did? I'm trying to understand.
I didn't want him to die, actually.
But he did.
He's my buddy, but like it happened again.
Happened again, but then did you feel a need to try to help him? Not choking him or get an ambulance? You didn't feel a need to do that?
I don't know why, it happened so fast.
In Taylor's own words, she's always had a dark, twisted philosophy when it comes to death.
I don't know.
...of first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and third-degree sexual assault, but who also casually complained to police about her cleaning job being messy and that she...
But when did you start, cutting up his body?
I don't know, like almost right away. I was sucking and cutting at the same time.
We're not sure what prompts the outfit change, but the other detective in the room wants more details on what Taylor did to Shad's body.
Yeah.
But you know that you cut off at the elbows?
Yeah.
Okay, you cut both arms off at the elbows?
I would hope so. Because like I was saying that dismemberment process I did was like really messed up because like I was nodding out. And then I was like sawing.
Got lazy. Before we go deeper into what the documents actually show, make sure you're subscribed to Project Cold Case, because we don't just cover the story, we follow the evidence. Taylor Schabusiness is the central figure here, a woman whose spiral into violence was fueled by...
The first search I did of the phone, the cell phone device itself, was done on March 2nd, and that was just the contents of the phone. And then in discussing it with computer forensic analyst Danowski, she suggested that an additional warrant could be done for further information regarding the email addresses, the Gmail addresses that were connected to the phone, and that would have been a whole separate warrant and a separate search.
And when you were reviewing the phone itself, the extraction of the phone itself on March 2nd of 2022, did you note any searches related to Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yes.
Was there one? Was there more than one? How many?
24 total searches, such things like Jeffrey Dahmer, Jeff Boyardee, Jeffrey Dahmer's butt, Jeffrey Dahmer walking into court all sexy. She's got a cell phone next to her head There's a picture of Jeffrey Dahmer on the screen of the cell phone, and she's taking a selfie with it and smiling like they're taking a selfie together.
And what is the date of that photograph?
That was February 12th.
By a devastating cocktail of methamphetamine, mental health struggles, and a chilling obsession with one of history's most infamous killers, Jeffrey Dahmer. Her victim, 24-year-old Shad Thyrion, was described by his family as mild-mannered and kind.
Taylor appears in a Brown
February
County
night,
courtroom on Valentine's Day of 2023 for a hearing. Judge Walsh rules her trial will be delayed. But moments after making that ruling, suddenly all eyes are on Taylor as she starts attacking her defense attorney in front of the judge. It's not fully clear why Taylor attacks her attorney. We can only speculate. Perhaps it's because the judge delayed the trial. Maybe it's the intense scrutiny and pressure surrounding the case. Or perhaps it's because today marks Taylor's 3rd wedding anniversary with Warren. Regardless, Taylor's attorney Quinty Jolly says his relationship with Taylor is irretrievably broken. He files a motion to withdraw from Taylor's case. On February 27th of 2023, the judge grants his request. Taylor is given a new court-appointed attorney, Christopher Froelich, and now another hearing is on the calendar for March 20th.
What began as a drug-fueled sexual encounter in his mother's basement ended in a horror that defies comprehension.
According to reports, in July of 2024, Taylor is accused of attacking prison staff. She is charged in the incident. Online court records show she was represented by a different attorney, Curtis Jolka, who entered to represent her in January of 2025. In April of 2025, she appears in a Fond du Lac County courtroom, where she once again attacks her attorney in court. Following this attack, Curtis Jolka asked the judge if he could withdraw from her case, but the judge reportedly wants proceedings to continue. And they did, but this time Taylor is video conferenced in. Court records show that after the hearing, Curtis Jolka withdraws as Taylor's attorney.